Rogue Leader Cockpit. Marcus, Danny Glover, I'm getting too old for this. Meanwhile, the Battle of Hot gets on the way. Int. Marcus Snowspeeder, Rogue Leader Cockpit. Marcus, yelling into the comlink Echo Station 5-7. We're on our way to fight for giant battle machines capable of totally blowing us to hell without a second thought. Don't wait up. EXT Hot Ice Plane Battlefield. The fleet of snowspeeders races above the ice field at full throttle. They accelerate at attack speed. Int. Marcus Snowspeeder, Rogue Leader, Cockpit. Marcus, into the comlink. All right boys, keep tight now. Do not act like you are an ace pilot like myself. I have the Force on my side, you're just average regular Joes chosen to die for your alliance gloriously. Are you with me? All pilots, hell, yeah. Deck, Marcus, I have no approach vector. I'm not set. Yogi Bear, hey, will there be another picanic basket for us when we get back to base, oh fearless commander, Marcus Ranger, sir? Marcus, for the last time, Yogi, there are no more picnic baskets at the base. We may not even have a base to come home to, *****tet. Attack pattern Delta. Go now. EXT Hot Ice Plane Battlefield. The cannons mounted on the walker head fire at the speeders. Other walkers loom in the background. Int. Marcus Snowspeeder, Rogue Leader Cockpit. Marcus, all right you sons of biznitches, I'm coming in. He turns his speeder and heads directly at one of the walkers, flying towards its towering legs. Marcus, Hobbs, you still with me? Hey, Hobbs? J.N. Michael Vincent, don't worry, Marcus, I'm with you. I'll let these *****DS have a taste of Airwolf's superior firepower. Marcus, I don't think you're in the right film, sir. This is a science fiction/fantasy film, and unless George Lucas' crack use has gone over the top, then you don't have a place in this battle. Ernest Borgnine, sounding really pissed off now. You listen here, you little snot-nosed punk. Your place in this battle is to fly your plane and shut the up. Let the professionals handle this mission. We've been on TV longer than you can form complete sentences. Marcus, you make me sick, you old tired fogey. Your career is all washed up anyway. What do? The only thing you do well is being a helpless prisoner in those corny Delta Force movies. I'm a major star on the rise, so don't even think you holding weight over here, sucka, trying to give me orders. I'm the commander. Yogi Bear, hey, Commander Marcus Ranger, sir. I think that Mr. Borgnine is doing the very best that he can. Marcus, highly pissed off. Oh, Yogi, why don't you shut the up? EXT Hot Ice Plane Battlefield. Two speeders race directly at the head of a walker, then split and fly past it. Three other walkers march onwards, firing all cannons. Wild Bill Hiccup, speaking in a heavy hillbilly accent, yeehaw. These sons of biznitches can't handle a real pilot taking command of the situation. Give me your best shot, you lousy cattle rustlers. Wyatt ERP, hey, Wild Bill. EXT Hot Ice Plane Battlefield. Marcus, Rogue 4. Rogue 4, copy, Rogue Leader. Marcus, I lost my gunner. You'll have to take this shot. I'll cover for you. Rogue 4, wait a minute, you mean I'm your wingman? Marcus, yeah. A laser blast from an AT-AT incinerates Rogue 4. Marcus, man. Rogue 5? Rogue 5, oh, crap. Rogue 5 is hit with a direct volley of laser fire and explodes. Marcus, damn it. Why does this always happen to me? Wedge, maybe it would help if you didn't have your stereo blasting another one bites the dust every time you flew. Marcus, well, what would you suggest? Wedge, something that will strike fear into the hearts of your enemies. Marcus, the Jawa Sandcrawler Quartet sings the best of the Backstreet Band The Boys? Wedge, worse. Marcus, a Wookiee and a Hutt singing a duet version of Jingle Bell Rock? Wedge, worse. Marcus, the latest Cher album? Wedge, sighing, no. Here, this is what I'm talking about. He pops a cassette into his speeder's stereo and cranks the volume. The Titanic theme song starts playing. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. Wedge, what the hell? Jetson, oh, I forgot to tell you. I kinda taped over that. Wedge, it's supposed to strike fear into the hearts of our enemies, not nausea. Whack. Wedge, ow. Marcus, could we just forget about the music and shoot someone? Jetson, fine. He fires the tow cable. It hits the AT-AT, bounces off, and nails another snowspeeder, destroying it. Jetson, oops. Let's try that again. He fires another tow cable. This one misses the AT-AT entirely and goes flying into the trenches, where it impales an entire contingent of rebel troops. Wedge, one more pass. Jetson, what? Are you crazy? Screw you, I'm not shooting anyone else. Wedge, no, we're not shooting this time. Look behind you. Jetson looks behind the snowspeeder. Dragging behind them are the charred remains of the snowspeeders and a dozen rebel corpses, still attached to the cable. Jetson, you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting, are you? Wedge, you got a better plan? Jetson, good point. Cable out, let her go. Wedge, detach cable. Jansen, cable detached. Int. Imperious AT-AT cockpit. The walker shakes with a tremendous thud. The driver looks out the window, only to find it covered with bodies. STOMPTROOPR, sir, they're firing rebels at us. Driver, very clever of them. We have no choice but to respond in kind. Fire. The Stomptrooper grabs his arm and starts dragging him out of the cockpit. Driver, no, not me, you idiot. The lasers. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. Lee looks at General Rickon, only to realize he's not there anymore. Lee, hey, did anyone see where Rickon went? Aide, I think I saw him heading for the main hangar. He was saying something about leaving a bunch of losers before they all got themselves slaughtered in the Imperial attack, but he wouldn't say who. Lee, shoot. Think we can launch 2 transports at a time? Aide, I dunno. Am I going to be on either of them? Lee, no. Aide, then yeah, I think we can manage it. Int. Rebel Base Main Hangar. Hands and Chunky are trying to repair the Millennium Falcon as fast as they can. Muffled explosions reverberate around the hangar, and the ice cracks dangerously, dumping a pile of snow on top of Hands. Cursing, Hands drags back out the repair manual he was holding and brushes snow off it. Hands, reading, insert hydrophoton emitter into gamma phase reducer panel and tighten nut in less than 12 parsecs. He looks at the panel beneath him in confusion. I don't even have a hydrogamma whatever. Rickon, solo. Solo. Hands looks over the edge. General Rickon is standing there with a duffel bag. Rickon, hey, Solo, think you could give me a ride out of here? Hands, I dunno. Why should I? Rickon, I can pay you 2 now, plus 15 when we reach, wherever the hell we're going. Hands, 2 now? Let me see it. Rickon reaches into his coat pocket. Rickon, do you take American Express? Hands, yeah, right. Get lost, Rickon. Announcer, VO, they can take you to the edges of the galaxy, but they won't take American Express. So next time, bring your Visa card, now accepted by more smugglers than any other card. Rickon, shut the hell up. Pauses, wait a minute, do you have a ship? Announcer, VO, yes, but those bad manners just cost you your seat. Later, loser. Rickon, damn it. In another area of the hangar, Stinkio watches as R2 is lowered into Marcus' X-Wing. Stinkio, you take good care of Master Marcus now, understand? No more trying to kill him. R2 beeps tentatively. Stinkio, no maiming either. I'm serious, I don't want to see a scratch on him. Int. At cockpit. General Lear surveys the devastation of the battlefield below him. Lear, ready the generators for maximum firepower mode. Make ready to target the main generator. EXT hot ice planes. Marcus looks out his cockpit to see Rogue 2 flying in formation with him. Marcus, Rogue 2, you alright? Int. Zen snowspeeder, Rogue 2 cockpit. Zen has a bloody nose. How the hell did that happen? Did a trooper somehow board his craft, pop him in the face, and then jump off? Or maybe a laser blast got through his shields, through his canopy, and somehow went directly up his nose with just enough energy left to lightly singe the tissue without burning through to his brain. Whack. GL, get on with it. Fine. Zen looks over at Marcus with a blood from an extremely improbable injury dripping all over his flight suit. Zen, yeah. I'm with you, Rogue Leader. Marcus, will set harpoon. I'll cover for you. Watch that crossfire. A laser blast lightly grazes Zen's craft. The seat cushions spontaneously burst into flames as every panel explodes in a shower of sparks, cooking the two rebels inside. A major blast from an AT-AT hits Marcus' snowspeeder directly. It bucks slightly, and some smoke drizzles out from under a panel. Marcus, hobby, I've been, line. Stagehand, hit. Marcus, really? Wow, that don't happen much. Marcus tries to look afraid, but can't manage it, so he hums Broadway show tunes until his snowspeeder finally crashes. Dusting himself off and looking casually at the walker lumbering towards his craft, he slowly gets out and starts walking away. Deck, Marcus, help me. I'm still alive, but I'm very badly burned. Marcus, what? My co-pilot can't survive. It violates the laws of the universe. Crunch. Marcus, oh. Guess that takes care of that, then. Deck, no, wait, I'm still alive. I think my arms might be broken. A flaming snowspeeder crashes on top of him. Deck, ow. I'm still alive, but I'm in quite a lot of pain. Marcus, don't worry, Deck, I'll get you out of there. An ice wampa suddenly appears out of nowhere, grabs Deck, and starts eating him. Deck, ow. Hey, make him stop. Marcus whips out his blaster and fires. Deck, you shot me. You shot me right in the arm. Why did you? Marcus fires again. This one hits Deck right between the eyes. Marcus, Jesus. Guy just wouldn't take a hint. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. Laser blasts can be heard thundering above. Hands appears, running. Cracks have appeared in the walls, and the entire room seems to be melting very quickly. A cave-in has buried most of the room, but several devoted rebels, that is, morons, are still at their posts. Hands runs over to Lee. Hands, are you all right? Lee, why are you still here? Hands, you've got my keys, remember? Lee, oh, right. She fishes into her pocket and tosses his ship keys at him. Lee, you got your keys, now leave. Hands, don't worry, I'll leave. First I'm going to get you to your ship. Lee, suspicious, why? Hands, so an unfortunate mishap can force you to leave with me, where we'll be stranded together and our tentative relationship will blossom and we can get it on. Lee, well, if it's for a good cause. A blast rocks the command center, knocking Stinkio down. Announcer, over loudspeaker, Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial troops have entered the. Trooper, over loudspeaker, you're darn right we have. Announcer, over loudspeaker, ah. Hey, wait a minute, I thought the shields were still up. Trooper, over loudspeaker, they are. Announcer, over loudspeaker, then how did you get in here? Trooper, over loudspeaker, well, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Announcer, over loudspeaker, aren't you going to do that anyway? Trooper, over loudspeaker, Tocha copyright. Hands, that's it, we're leaving. Lee, give the evacuation code signal. And tuck in your shirt. Head controller, K10, all troops disengage. Key the dramatic we've just gotten our butts kicked John Williams music, and run like hell. EXT Battlefield, Snow Trench. Rebel troops retreat under the relatively awesome Imperious attack. Officer, begin retreat. Fall back. Fall back. King Arthur, run away. Troops flee from the battle as the ground explodes around them. EXT Hot Battlefield Ice Plane. Marcus is running underneath the belly of one of the giant walkers. He pulls out a harpoon gun, don't ask, and fires it at the walker's underside. A magnetic head and cable attack firmly to the metal hull. He is pulled up the cable and hangs dangling under the walker. Cutting open a hatch, Marcus takes a grenade from his belt and tosses it in. A second later, a stormtrooper sticks his head out and tosses it back at Marcus. Marcus, oh, SHT. Boom. A soot-covered Marcus picks himself up off the snow. Growling, he ignites his lightsaber. He runs over to the nearest leg and cuts it off at the ankle. Marcus, ha. Take that. A team of Imperial repair droids swarm down the leg, weld the foot back on, and swarm back up. The AT-AT keeps walking, uninterrupted. Marcus, arg. Ah, screw it, I'm getting out of here. Int. Imperious Snowwalker, cockpit. Inside the walker, General Lear looks out at the rebel power generators. Lear, all right, we're in range. Ready? The screen splits to show the other 4 AT-AT drivers. Drivers, ready. Lear, power troopers, power up mode. Heavy metal guitar music starts playing as all 5 of them reach up in perfect sync to tap a device they're wearing on their wrists. There is a flash of light, and all 5 of them are wearing Stormtrooper armor, each a different color. Lear, now wearing red armor, looks around, using exaggerated hand and head movements that don't quite match what he's saying. Red Trooper, let's bring M together. Troopers, right. EXT Hot Battlefield. The 5 AT-ATs begin transforming. Within moments, they have formed a huge droid holding a lightsaber, the Imperious Megazord. Red Trooper, Imperious Megazord Saber, maximum firepower. The Megazord issues a beam of light from its lightsaber that completely destroys the rebel power generators. Red Trooper, pumping his fist, all right. All the troopers cheer and pat each other on the back. Int. Hot Rebel Base Ice Corridors. Hans, Lee, and Stinky-O run through a crumbling ice corridor. Hans runs down a side tunnel, dragging Lee by the hand. A moment later he comes back out the tunnel, looks around, and heads down another one. A few moments later, he comes back out. Lee, will you just admit that you're lost? Hans, I know exactly where I am. I just don't know how to get where we're going. He walks over to the wall, where an incredibly complex map fills half the corridor, along with a tiny speck labeled "You are here." Hans, okay, if we go back and take the 3rd corridor, then head left down the 2nd side exit, that should put us right in the middle of the Bronx? Who the hell wrote this map? Shaking his head, he pulls out his comlink and turns it on. Hans, transport, this is Solo. Better take off, I can't get to you. I'll get her out on the fountain. Transport, we took off 10 minutes ago, Solo. Hans, what? That's not true, that's impossible. Transport, no, it's actually quite possible. We just left. Hands, NOO. Transport, geez, solo, it's not that big a deal. You've got a ship, don't you? Hands is sobbing, rocking back and forth, and he doesn't seem to hear him. Hands, softly, Bin, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? GL, cut. All right, who messed with the script? R2 whistles nonchalantly as he rolls away from the table where all the copies of the script are kept. Int. Hot Rebel Base Command Center. Imperial troops have entered the base. Hey, where have I heard that before? As they clear aside rubble, the ominous dark shadow of Darth Vacuous fills the doorway. He pauses, surveying the wreckage about him, before entering, whacking his head on the doorway and knocking himself to the ground. The troopers stifle giggles. Int. Hot Rebel Base Ice Corridor. Hands and Lee run toward the main hangar, where the Millennium Fountain is docked. Stinkio lags behind. Stinkio, wait. Wait for me. Wait. Stop. Stinkio sees a big door behind which is Wumpu ice creatures marked with a sign that says danger. He takes down the danger sign and puts up a sign that says free porno theater and walks away. Several STRMTROPRS don sunglasses and hats and enter discreetly. Screams and the sound of limbs being torn off can be heard inside. Stinkio tries to join his friends, but the door shuts in his face. The door opens, and Hands sticks his head out. Hands, why not? Stinkio, He waves his hand, you will let me in. Hands, sorry. Droids can't use the Force. He slams the door. Stinkio, damn. Hey, wait a minute. He inspects the wall next to the door. The snow is melting rapidly. Stinkio pokes it, and the entire wall collapses, revealing the main hangar. Stinkio, how typical. Hands looks back and waves to Stinkio, because hey, you can't win 'em all. Hands, hurry up, Goldenrod, or you're gonna be a permanent resident. Stinkio runs up the ramp, which begins to close before shuddering to a halt. Hands comes out swearing and hits it with a hydrospanner until it closes all the way. Int. Hot Rebel Base Ice Corridor. Darth Vacuous strides down the hallways, black cape billowing out behind him. Suddenly a figure darts out of a side corridor and runs right into him. Rickon, hey, buddy, watch where you're going. He does a double take and realizes who he's talking to. Rickon, sorry? Whack. Darth Vacuous strides past General Rickon's unconscious body. Vacuous, apology accepted, General Rickon. Last edit, January 7, 2022 at 6 p.m. by Brent Koivapolo 888. Love is sacrifice. Brent Koivapolo 888. Administrator. Just got a cat named Galadriel. Posts, 3,446. Member is online. July 21, 2021 at 7:05 p.m. Post by Brent Koivapolo 888 on July 21, 2021 at 7:05 p.m. Int. Rebel Base Main Hangar. The Millennium Fountain struggles to start up but cannot. What a shock. Int. Man Hangar Millennium Fountain Main Hold. Lee looks on as Hands and Chunky flip switches and turn knobs. Hands, how's this? Lee, would it help if I got out and pushed? Hands, how about if you got out and left? Stinkio hurries up. Stinkio, Captain Solo, Captain Solo. Whack. Stinkio, but it's really very important. Whack. Stinkio, I'm afraid I must insist that you listen to what I have to say. Hands pulls out his blaster. Stinkio, it can wait. Int. Main Hangar Millennium Fountain Cockpit. They move into the cockpit, where Hands flips some more switches. The lights come on, then die. Hans pulls out his trusty hydrospanner and starts whacking the control panel. It falls off. Hans, nuts. You wouldn't happen to have a bobby pin, would you? Lee, this bucket of bolts is never going to get us past that blockade. Hans, this baby's got a few surprises left in her, sweetheart. The control panel suddenly sparks and bursts into flames. Hans, surprise? Int. Hot Rebel Base main hangar. A squad of Stomptroopers enters the far side of the hangar. One of them, realizing he should have listened to his commander and gone to the refresher before he put on his snow gear, rushes out looking for the nearest unoccupied corner. The others train their weapons on the fountain. A hatch opens on the underside of the pirate ship. A laser gun falls out and lands on the ground. Int. Main hangar Millennium Fountain Cockpit. Hans, damn. Knew I should have fixed that. Chunky, get in here. Come on. Chunky rushes into the cockpit and sits down. Hans, switch over. Let's hope he doesn't have a sore throat. Hans switches on the PA system and nods to Chunky. Chunky, Rurwagug. Int. Rebel Base main hangar. The troopers grab their ears in pain and run from the hangar sobbing like little girls. The trooper who left earlier comes back in, adjusting his armor. He sees the others running and looks around in confusion. Stomp, what did I miss? Int. Main hangar Millennium Fountain Cockpit. Hans, see? Lee, someday you're going to be wrong, and I just hope I'm there to see it. Hans, looking at Chunky, punch it. Chunky shrugs and smashes his fist through the control panel. Hans, no, I meant floor it. Int. Rebel Base main hangar. The fountain belches a huge cloud of black exhaust and shoots out of the hangar. Darth Vacuous enters just in time to see the ship disappear. Vacuous, damn. I knew I shouldn't have stopped to ask for Ion Cannon Chick's phone number. He throws the scrap of paper down to the floor in anger and strides out of the hangar. A few moments later, he comes back in, glances around to make sure no one's watching, picks up the paper, and brushes off the snow. He stuffs it into a pocket and storms back out of the hangar. EXT Hot Ice Slope Day. Marcus climbs up the slope to where the X-Wings are stored. Another pilot runs up to him. Pilot, hi, Marcus. I'm gonna be your wingman for the flight out. Marcus, eyes widening, duck. Pilot, huh? A low-flying Millennium Fountain shoots out of the hangar, schemes the snow dunes, and hits the pilot so hard his boots are left behind. Int. Millennium Fountain Cockpit. Hans, wow, that was a big bug. He turns on the windshield wipers. EXT Hot Ice Slope Still Day. Marcus gets up off the ground and shakes a fist at the retreating starship. Marcus, get some altitude, you maniac. He shakes his head and runs over to his X-Wing, where R2 is waiting in his little cubbyhole. Hey, that's what they call it in the script. ARTOO, hey, you wanna hurry up a little? There's still a frickin' army behind you, you know? Marcus, don't worry, R2. We're going. Muttering, I need to have that translator disabled. ARTOO, what was that? Marcus, nothing. EXT, space, Marcus X-Wing. Marcus fighter streaks through the surprisingly imperial free space around Hot. He suddenly banks sharply, away from the direction the other ships are taking. ARTOO, what the hell is this, a sightseeing tour? Marcus, there's nothing wrong, R2. Just setting a new course. ARTOO, does this mean we don't have to meet up with those losers again? Marcus, we're not going to regroup with the others. R2, yes. Marcus, we're going to the Dayglobah system. ARTOO, YIP, wait a minute, you lost me. Why the hell are we going to that dump? Marcus, I wouldn't expect a mechanical to understand. It's a force thing. Haunting force music starts up. ARTO, stop that, stop it. The music grinds to a halt. ARTO, now look, I ain't going to no bloody swamp. Geez, and I thought the rebels were stupid. You have to take the cake. I'm surprised you can even fly. Just give me control of the fighter, and no one gets hurt. Marcus, that's okay, R2. I'd like to keep it on manual control for a while. The control board beeps. Marcus, that's strange. The computer's trying to activate my ejection seat. Must be a malfunction. He locks it down. ARTOO, mumbling, stupid safety overrides. EXT, Space Millennium Fountain. The Millennium Fountain speeds away from Hot, followed by an imperious Starwhacker and 4 tiny bowtie fighters. Int. Millennium Fountain Cockpit. Inside the cockpit, Chunky lets out a loud howl. Hans is trying to fly the ship with one hand while using the other to tear up duct tape to tape back down control panels that have been jarred loose by the barrage of laser blasts. Hans, where's the damn sensor panel? Lee bends down and picks up a panel off the floor. Lee, is this it? Hans, yeah. He looks at it, oh, great. 2 more of them, coming right at us. Stinky-O, who up until now has been sitting silently in the back, speaks up, his voice a dull monotone. Stinky-O, good. They can finish us off and put us all out of our misery. Hans looks curiously at Stinky-O. Hans, what did you do to him? Lee, disabled his motivator. I thought it would shut him up. Stinky-O, would you like me to shut off the shields? It'll be faster that way. Hans, oh, great, now we got a clinically depressed droid on our hands. Well, we can still ignore him. Stinky-O hits the switch to turn off the shields. However, the switch is mislabeled, and he kicks in the dorsal thrusters. EXT space. The Millennium Fountain suddenly dives straight down, closely followed by the bowtie fighters. The Starwhacker continues on a collision course with the other 2 Starwhackers. Int. Starwhacker Bridge. Captain, take evasive action. The crewers look at each other, shrug, and dive for cover underneath their workstations. Captain, no, you idiots, the ship, move the ship. The helmsman looks out the viewport, where the 2 oncoming Starwhackers are flashing their brights and honking. Helmsman, oh, crap. It's too late. The 3 Starwhackers collide, sending everyone on the bridge reeling.